So where is the camera?
Camera's right there.
You're automatically on
right there.
display. That's for
Okay.
you.
Okay, let me know where we're going.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, my name is Bernie Payne. I'm on the Bedminster Township Committee. I'd like to welcome you to our presentation on the property tax rebate card. We're very happy to have from this evening the CEO and founder of FinCredit. They're the third-party administrator in this program, Carmine DeFalco, and his associate, Kay, also of FinCredit and the property tax rebate card. They have a presentation that they're going to give us tonight, and it is being videotaped, and we want to put that on our website here at the town for purposes of those merchants who could not be here tonight. I also want to introduce Judy Sullivan, our clerk administrator, and Donna Cummings, our tax collector. And because this is a property tax rebate card, they're very important components of this program. Let's start out by saying that I know we have a small, intimate crowd, but don't let that deceive you into thinking what the participation rate of this program is going to be. We're very optimistic about the participation. My wife and I distributed the flyers and knocked on 45 different doors of local merchants and small businesses, and it's been enthusiastically embraced. It's just that it's difficult at 7 o'clock on a work day to have somebody come to a meeting, or some of the businesses are still open and operating now. But that's why we're putting it on tape, so that they can participate in this at a later date. Before we start our program, I just wanted to point out one thing that I find is very important. As a township committeeman, there's two things that I hear a lot. The one from small businesses about being business friendly. And kind of a platitude in a lot of towns where they say, oh, we were business friendly, but what's done for me lately as far as promoting local businesses and stimulating the local economy. The other thing we hear about is from property tax payers about their taxes, and New Jersey being the highest property taxes in the nation. What are we doing to mitigate the impact of property taxes? Well, the property tax card is here, and I think it was just a really brilliant idea of FinCredit, and Carmine, you're the brainstorm behind this, to put this together where we can accomplish both things at the same time, stimulating the local economy as well as giving property owners some tax relief. And as you'll hear from our presentation from Carmine, building brand loyalty, building the business, and getting people to shop local. So we'll have a Q&A afterwards, but I'm going to turn it over to Carmine now and for the presentation. Thank you, Carmine.
Thank you, Bernie, and good evening. My name is Carmine DeFalco. I'm with FinCredit, Inc., administrator of the Property Tax Rewards Program. We started the program about 4 years ago in Marlborough, New Jersey, and today we are in 17 townships all over the state. By the end of the year, we expect to be in over 20 townships. But what is the Property Tax Reward Program? It is a shop local initiative to keep spending in town. Every town is asking their residents to spend money in their own town, but they don't know how to do it. They don't do much about it. This is a shop local program, so people spending money stay in town, receive something back. It's an incentive. It's an incentive that the town provides through our program. How does the program work? Well, Shop and the Township of Bedminster will issue property tax cards such as this one right here. This is the one in Bridgewater. It's a swipe card, and this card to all the residents in town. The resident then goes online and registers the card with their parking lot. After they register their card, they go out and shop. Let's say they go to a restaurant and they spend money there. They swipe the card, and a percentage of the sale, as determined by the restaurant, goes back to this person's property tax bill. The more I shop in my own town, the more property tax credits I earn. Let's go through a typical transaction so that everybody understands how this will work. Let's say I go to a store that participates with a 10% tax reward, and I spend $100. At the point of sale, I will give them credit card or cash, plus I will give them also my Shop Local card. The Shop Local card is then swiped in a machine such as this one, or online, a web terminal, depends how the merchant wants to process the card, and then automatically creates a percentage of sale going back on the card. February to the following Tuesday, we then debit the merchant's account for the amount of credit they put on the card. And then on or about July, we'll send a payment file to the township along with all the credits that people have accrued over the previous 12 months, and they will see those credits right on their tax bill, on the third quarter tax bill. If you're a renter or visitor, you can also participate. You get the card, you do not pay property taxes to your town, but you will be receiving a rebate check from us at the end of the year. Okay? So that's how the program works in a nutshell. You go to a store, swipe your card, a percentage of the sale as determined by the business. So we do not predetermine what the percentage is. You determine as a business what percentage you can afford to give back. And at the end of the year, I will see that money right onto my that I receive from the township. What benefits to the merchant? Well, this they show that with a program like this, with a rewards program, there is 0.5% higher revenue that merchants make, but most importantly, 14.5% higher retention rate of customers, which is actually what you need to foster, because you do want those customers to come back. Support. We expect the township to do all the marketing. We do also our own marketing, but we expect the township to do marketing with their residents and say, hey, go shop in town, use your card, and so on. Another benefit is a window cling that all the merchants get with a QR code, and when people scan the QR code, all the merchants show up right on your phone. And this is the type of window cling that I'm talking about that will go on the windows of all the merchants. There's plenty of marketing for the merchant, and that's why they get involved in this program. One thing that they get, which is very important, if you have a high volume business like a restaurant, is that you get to capture the email addresses of everybody that shops at your place of business. So when they swipe the card, you can go back in your backend into the account that we set up for you, merchant, and retrieve all information of customer, their name, email address, when they came to shop, how much they spent. What is for a merchant to participate? There's a month patient fee, reward back. Nothing else. Of course, if you want to swipe with a machine, you might have to get a machine, and I'll talk about that here. If you need a machine, you're a high volume business, you're a restaurant and you need a machine, there's a cost of $160 for a dial-up machine, $130 for an IP machine. But otherwise, you can put credits online. And if it's online, you do not need to purchase a machine. You go right on a website, and you have a web terminal right there, and you process the card right on the site. Is very little. They have to come up with the cost of the cards and the window clings. In all our cases, the cards are sponsored by a bank, the local bank, a sponsor, a large business. In the case of Bank, the cards.
Yeah, I failed to mention that we're very happy to announce that PPAC Gladstone Bank is going to be the exclusive sponsor for the program. So they'll be paying for the production of the cards as well as the window swipes. We have, like, I guess, naming rights, if you want to say, to the program. Very excited about because they are the bank for many of the local merchants. So it's just a natural fit for them.
But then for them it is worth it because, like you were saying, they get their name right in the back of the card. So everybody that walks around with the card has the logo of the bank right on the card. That's a great marketing for them. But as far as the marketing for the merchants are concerned, we have seen billboards, towns doing billboards. There's a flyers going to the tax bill going out to the entire community with the name of the merchants, which we do once a year. They have social media, they have banners that we link on our website, and I'm sure also the township is going to have a page so that they can link the banners of all the people that participate. I mean, there's a lot of things going on, and all of this is all included for participating in our program. We do another type of marketing. We do deals of the month. Every month, you give us your special deals. They're like coupons that we e-blast to everybody. You do your special deal, hey, use your card for the month of August and you get an extra $5 when you spend $200 with us. That kind of thing. Anything to let them into your store and to give branding to your business, which is very important in any business and in any town. These are the marketing stuff that other townships have done. In this case, they have like these billboards on township property. Sometimes some towns do a couple of ads, paper ads in a year. We list all the merchants on their ads. What is to residents? There's no cost to residents. The card is totally free. Like I said, it is paid for by bank or the sponsor. Once a year, there will be a $1 deduction when we transfer the file to the township. So if you earned $100, you'll get a credit for $99, basically. If you earn anything less than $4, there is no charge. Renters accrue, they basically get a check. They have to pay $7 for the processing fee, which comes off basically the credit. So if you earn $100, you get a check for $93. I was talking about in terms of marketing. You get as a merchant, you will get a banner over here on our web portal, and it's linked to your Facebook or your website, and it rotates every time you refresh the page. Plus, you get a listing banner and an explanation of your business and how much you're giving back to the people, the consumer. Now, if a merchant gives back 10% all in cost to the merchant, the consumer gets 7.5%. 2.5% or 25% of the word stays for program management fee, customer service, and everything that we do. And we do have full disclosure because at the bottom of this page, you cannot see it right now, but we say the merchant pays a little bit higher percentage to cover all the costs of the program. But always see the net amount that you're getting. So before going to a store, you know you're getting 7.5% or 10% or 12% or whatever it is that your net that goes back to your card. When you register your card, when consumer register the card, they're basically opening an account. They can go back to their account and check exactly how much money they've earned throughout the year. So at the end of the year, they can definitely reconcile the money that they see on the tax bill, the credit that they see on the tax bill, with what they've earned over the course of the previous 12 months. Why is the township doing this? A couple of reasons. Number one, they will try to lower the vacancies in town. They'll be seen as a township, as a business-friendly town. They want to attract new businesses. The local job market gets a little bit better. Of course, they want to help their residents lower their property taxes by shopping. This slide, we're very proud of the fact that in 2015, we were top 25 awarded top 25 innovation in government by Harvard University. We're up against about 3,000 entries, and we're really pleased that our small program, our little program, got awarded this honor. So it was great. So this is my last slide, and I'll take some questions now.
I have a services business.
I'll give you the mic so you're on.
My name is Ken Kaplan. I own a business called Quantum Floats in Bedminster. We are currently a renter. We rent our space, but we're already in the process of building out a facility that I already own in Bedminster. We take credit cards, and we have a credit card reader that looked very similar, if not identical, to the one you there. Is there a way to determine whether the one we have will work with the program to purchase a new terminal?
Fortunately, it's a system. Your system works on a different platform. Our system is totally different from them. If you did credit cards with our company, let's say, and you change it to us, maybe we could put it together. But because we have a division that does that too. But no, the answer is no. You have to purchase another one. However, in your case, because you do not have, I would imagine, a line out the door, because you're a more high-ticket item type of place, you can easily do it online. Our web terminal is very user-friendly. People come in, they give you the card, you have a little swiper next to your screen, swipe the card, and process right online, so you do not have to purchase the machine.
If I could add something in a little more about this program, I've determined is certain businesses are going to do it certain ways. If you're a high-volume restaurant on a Saturday night, you're swipe it because would you say, Carmine, the actual time in swiping it and the seconds and the input that you have to put in, or you have to put the number and you have a pre-programmed discount, it's going to come right off. But businesses maybe can, like yours, where you have clientele, you just get the information from their card and you can input it later on online. You don't have to do it right at the point of sale. Some businesses, there's a computer IT person, Netspedite, who's already agreed to be on the program. They're going to invoice. A plumber or electrician or somebody like that will invoice later. They can do it at the time they invoice it, or when they get paid on their invoice. Then they can input the data. The consumer just has to take a picture of the card, email them the number or whatever they want to do, and it's there. And if they frequent that particular electrician or plumber, or you'll have their information on file. So you only have to retrieve it once, and after that you can just input it. Okay. Would you? Yeah, just
Sure. I understand that the merchant sets the discount, which amount. Is there a common discount that you're seeing in, say, Bridgewater and Somerville that merchant set?
It really pretty much depends on the industry you are in. We see, for instance, restaurants coming in at around 10 to 15% all-in cost to them. So net to the customer, 7.5% to 11%. We see service businesses that are like yours, we see a little bit higher of a percentage sometimes, but spas come in around 10%. It all depends. It's all over the place. But 10% seems to be pretty much a benchmark for a lot of the businesses.
As Carmine said, you can change that. So, special promotions, you could do a flat dollar amount. I think you said that there's a car dealership in Bridgewater that does a flat amount off of a purchase or a car lease. So you can do that too. You can limit purchase over a certain amount and get a 10% discount on any purchase over a certain amount. If you don't want to, for instance, if you're a deli, you don't necessarily want to do it on a coffee. but any purchase over $10 or something. Certain places may just say, you know, on any catering, you get a bigger, if it's a catering job, you're going to get it over a certain amount for a catering job. So, and I think we have anybody else here. Identify yourself, please.
Hi, Christine Payne, and my question goes back to the swiper. A device you can put on your phone or an iPad that work with your card. Some shops don't work with credit card machines. You know, we rely on, you know, our iPads and our phones. I use Square, so if you have something like that, I'm interested.
That's a sore subject for us because we've been trying, and there is something that we can do, the little square right on top of the phone. Yes, we could be doing that with an app, and that's, I guess, the program 2.0. We're not there yet, but we're working on it. In fact, we are working on it. It's way too soon, but we're working on actually doing the scanning without the thing because people are going to lose their little thing on top, especially if you're in a shop all day, you're going to lose that thing. So we're trying to do something with the scanner, but that means that you would have to have a QR right on the card to do the scanning. And so we are working on these solutions, but right now we don't have anything like that, unfortunately. If you have an iPad, you can do it online. We are definitely mobile friendly with our website, with our PT Web Terminal, the one you use to scan the cards, and you can use that. And by the way, you don't even need the scanner because you can input your phone number. Because if you don't have your card with you, you scan it, you can actually give them the phone number to the merchant, and they can just you know, put it in. Like most places do that, you know, nowadays. You can do it with the phone number as well.
My question was, as we get into more electronic pay, you know, I suppose Apple Pay and hitting scanner or something like that will be the next, you know, generation of how this will be done. Because I think more and more businesses eventually will get away from terminal scanning or swiping, or who knows what the future holds with that. But right now it's not that cumbersome, you know, to do it. There's a number of ways that you can do it. Else? Sure.
Hi, I'm Claudia Loomis. I own Cherry Brook Pet Supply. So we have a POS. We have several stores in different locations. We have a POS system. So it's not just a matter of swiping the card. You also have to enter the amount, customer's order amount. So that takes some additional time. You know, our POS is linked to our register, so that's a difficult. It would have to be a two-step process.
It is. It is a two-step process. I'm not going to lie to you. You do your transaction first, and then you go to the machine, or if you write down the number, you put it in later. It doesn't matter. But let's say you have a machine. You take the card, you swipe in the machine, you put the amount of the pre-tax cell, and that generates the credit. So it's a two-front. Even if we were able to integrate it with your POS system, which we're working on it because we have an API that you can actually have your IT person put it in and go. If I'm getting to technical.
Okay, I understand.
We could do that also, but then we have to step also because you get first paid and then you have to then punch our credit. You know what I mean?
Right.
This is a second step. Just like any other rewards program, you need two steps: the main purchase and the reward.
We already have a customer reward program.
Right.
So it's kind of to us it would be like double dipping. You have a customer reward program which is about 2.5%. You know, we couldn't afford to do 2.5% in our customer reward program and then another 10% rebate.
Here's the thing: we plan your merchants that have their own rewards cards. Allow them. We service about 500 merchants all over New Jersey, and many times they say, which one would you like to use? It's either one or the other. It's never both. We do have merchants that do a lower percentages so they can be all inclusive in case they come with both. Remember, not everybody's going to come with both cards. But yeah, if you do, at least you know you don't get hurt. But the difference between your reward card and our reward card is that you give it to your customers. Your customers come in, you give them the card, and that's your customer. In our case, the township is going to try to issue the card to everybody.
Right.
So I think that your potential customer base should be a lot larger than what you have right now. And that's why you want to get into that program.
Right.
That's my opinion.
I'm all for encouraging local shopping, because that's, for us, the killer is the Amazon and the internet. And anything that we can do to encourage the people who live in our towns to shop in our towns is, a tremendous. And I applaud the town for thinking that way. I'm just concerned about, from an administration standpoint, the time it takes when you're ringing up a customer at the register, and we also don't combine, customers can't use a coupon and they don't get a reward. Our rewards are issued right at the register for customers. So they get it right at the time of the sale. Yeah. So.
We have another pet store in another town, not from here.
Okay.
And they do quite well.
Okay.
I have to say, because
Would-
people go to
Have reference, I would love to speak to another merchant who's involved, just see the day-to-day how it works, so it'd be great. Then, another question, I'm sorry, I'm hogging the mic. The rewards, the rebates are done, daily as the customers come in. Only credited to one tax bill, or is it because I know I used to pay my taxes quarterly, so.
we credit. You want me to get mine?
Oh, I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. Yeah. So, okay. I'm sorry.
I'll give it to you. We credit the account only once a year before the third quarter tax bill. There's a reason for that. Originally, when we created the program, we wanted to give the money quarterly to the township, but we were told to give it only once a year because we hit the account before it goes to the mortgage companies. So the mortgage companies can see the credit. If we were doing it quarterly, we'll be sending in money and the mortgage company will be sending in money, and chances are that payment will be rejected. So we do it once a year before the end of the fiscal year, the third quarter fiscal year, and before the tax bill goes out to the mortgage companies.
Yeah, because what will happen there too is with mortgage companies, when they do an escrow analysis after they get the bill, for municipalities, that credit that you have, they know that your property tax bill has been reduced. Theoretically, they could reduce, depending on the size of it, the escrow that you have to put up for the next year. It doesn't have to be significant, but still, it's a possibility.
My understanding of mortgage companies is that they can keep an escrow over and above a certain amount. So if you reach that amount, they let you cut your check, or I don't know if they credit to future payments, but if you have a big enough of a credit, they may even lower your monthly payments. So, bank.
Is about is from the home renter's perspective. If a homeowner or a home renter spends, say, $1,000, and the merchant credit maybe at one merchant, the only transaction they did all year, and that merchant credit was 10%, I think they'd get $100, 10% of $1,000 off of their real estate tax bill. If you were a renter, what would they get back by way of rebate check?
$93.
7%. 7% different.
The $7. Are you talking about the net to the customer versus the gross?
To the consumer, customer.
Say a merchant goes in, say you want to participate in the program, you say, hey Carmen, I want my all-in rates to be 10%. So my cost is going to be. We are going to advertise 7.5% to the customer. Well, because that 2.5% is what we keep for program fee, customer service, and everything that we do. So if somebody comes to you and spends $1,000, it would see $75 of their property tax bill.
Okay.
Minus $1 service fee when we send the file over to the township. I never caught that.
Yeah. I did not. And if that person, instead of a homeowner, was a home renter,
You will get $75 minus $7 check fee, handling fee, because it's processed.
that minus is a percentage. It's not a fixed amount, or is it fixed?
Fixed amount, it's a flat amount
Okay.
of $75. we have a scaling thing. If you make only $5 over the course of the year, we deduct only 50 cents, I think it is. You know what I mean, for the check.
Yeah. Does the owner need to prove that they're an owner as opposed to a renter, or is it an honor that they can select?
No, they can select. When they go online and register, they can select if they want. If a homeowner decides to say, you know what, I want to register a renter, that's fine.
They want their property tax bill to be as high as they can because it has a certain deductibility.
Well, that's what I want to talk about.
I'll get back.
I'm sorry.
There is a good
I'm
point
sorry.
because That's a good point because it comes out frequently, and I want to stress that out. Debate the words that we're getting. It's not a increase in wealth. Therefore, it is a non-taxable event. There's an IRS letter from 2001 which states that cash rewards are non-taxable events. This is exactly what it is. It's a cash reward, basically. It's just like a coupon. Instead of getting the money up front at the cash register, you're getting it later. So it's a reduction. The IRS takes it as a reduction of the purchase price. Get to, just so that for everybody's benefit, you get to declare the full amount of the deduction. But please always consult your accountant because we're not accountants. Thank you.
Professional opinion on that? What would you say?
That's like a fair treatment that will stimulate the economy and then make the pie bigger for the government. So that sounds good to me.
Hey, have an accountant in the audience. Yeah.
Is reconciled between the businesses and property tax card. In other words, how do the businesses pay property tax card participation?
So every week on a Tuesday, we did the account of the business by the swipes that they've done during the course of the week. So if in a week a business swipes $1,000 worth of sales and it gives back 10% all in cost, on a Tuesday we'll take $100 from that account. We'll then deposit 75% of that in a township dedicated account, so we do not commingle funds. And at the end of the year, that's when we send the payment file and the money to the township. They can reconcile everything pretty quickly. It's really no additional work on the side of the township because we get that all the time. These folks are overworked. They only have they work really on. We're only a few employees, I believe. I don't know. They're smiling. Maybe they have more employees than I think. But so there's really no work on the side of the. Just to put things in perspective, they get thousands and thousands of payment files a year from mortgage companies paying taxes on behalf of their mortgage clients. So we only give them one file a year. So if they spend for the entire year 15 minutes working on this, I think it's even too much.
So that's a little bit of a nutshell. A couple of other things I wanted to point out is that Carmine has told us that some of the other towns that are participating in the program want to honor business cards. For instance, I believe you said Bridgewater Acura and some of the other non-competing businesses. So what we would do is we wouldn't necessarily have a direct competing business that's in Bridgewater or Somerville or Hillsborough, let's say, compete, with a Bedminster competing business. Now, I don't think anybody's going to drive from here to Bridgewater for a pizza, but say you have a service or something. Well, we're not going to allow that service case by case basis that it competes directly with Bedminster businesses. But if it's a non-competing business and they want to offer it, that would be like a home improvement company or something, a car dealership that we don't have here in Bedminster. I also reached out to some of the merchants in Far Hills, since it's so close, and a lot of Bedminster residents get their mail in Far Hills, and we share so much as a library and a fire department and a first aid squad, so it's kind of our sister town, right? So where we are now. But, at some point, it could even become a regional thing. I guess it just depends on how it's going to evolve.
No, it's possible. And just to say, we do have destination facilities, that's what we call them, where you can, for instance, we are doing now Point Pleasant Beach, and that's a resort town. The mayor wants to be in everybody's program if possible. So when you're vacationing, you think of that particular place to go. Hey, I have the card, they honor the shop bed Mr. card, let's have the weekend over there instead of going to Cape May. So you go down there, you swipe your card, you get money back home. It's another way of bringing money back to your town, believe it or not. So, and you're not going to go there for a restaurant just to go out to eat because it's an hour and a half away. So that's the idea. Same thing with a big ski resort that we have up north that we want to try to bring in. If that ski resort would agree to participate, I will put them in all of our programs because no one has a ski resort in town. So but if you want to ski, maybe instead of going to Camelback, you go to this other ski resort and swipe your shop bed Mister card, and that can be very expensive skiing. So you get money back home on property taxes.
It'd be kind of destination, out of the area where you're going to go, and I mean that can be pretty significant. When you think about it, some people are only going to save a few dollars, but others, depending on your spending habits, and I mean I can say this that, in town, I mean I'm going to patronize those merchants that are participating in the program because that's a way of them saying thank you to me and helping me lower my taxes. And so, if push comes to shove and you got to make a decision, well, where am I going to go tonight? Well, I'm going to the merchant that supports our kid.
It's nice to see professionals and service businesses involved. Pest control, plumbing, electrical, accounting, medical, dental services. I mean, these are businesses that want people to with them and choose them maybe over another business that's in town that are because, hey, listen, I'm going to see my dentist periodically, do my teeth cleaning, whatever else. And it's nice to see and again here, doctors here and so on. These are things, obviously, the pet supply and the restaurants and so on. I mean, these are the kinds of businesses that certainly are the fit, but to expand the types of businesses, it really enhances the benefits to the township, to the homeowners, because they use all types of businesses. You were talking also about there was a Ford dealership, the Acura dealer. They do something more like a set fee where any auto purchase, they will give, say, $200 towards the property tax card, and every time they purchase a vehicle, so whatever that money goes into that account. It's a great opportunity to keep those businesses, even though they may be out of the area, they're getting people that live in town to continue to frequent them. So I think
the other thing that you can do too is, and we could reach out, is to local employers and businesses whose employees come to town on a daily basis. They can have the cards, but they get their dry cleaning done here, have their lunch here. The office orders out for conferences or business lunches. They bring food in here more than they are at home. They spend more time in Bedminster than they do at their home during the week. So with that said, those businesses may want to look at this as a benefit to their employees, and of course they'll get a check too. So the possibilities are kind of endless with it when you really start thinking about how the program can evolve and the number of participants we can have in it. There's really three phases to this, and we can end in a little bit. The first phase was obviously getting a sponsor, and like I said, once again, I want to thank PPAC Gladstone Bank for stepping up and doing that in the sponsor. Initially, we're looking at 2,500 cards to be distributed, and then doubling that up to 5,000 cards. The number could go higher. How that's going to be, now we have to get our merchants in. We need a minimum of 15 merchants to make the program viable, and hopefully that's across a lot of different product and business lines. I can say we're halfway there already, just by the people that I've spoken to who said, I'm in, just tell me when to sign up. Once 15 businesses are there, and kind of simultaneously like that, we'll get the cards printed up. Takes about 2 weeks or so. When the cards come in, then we're going to start distributing them. They'll be here at Town Hall. They're going to be at the PPAC Gladstone, Far Hills, and Bedminster branches. You as merchants take cards and give them to your clients when they come in, and your customers saying, here, sign up. And now you've done a real favor to your customers by you've introduced them to the program. You know, loyalty, and they're going to be very thankful because maybe they didn't hear about it. We're going to be putting stuff on the website. We're going to send out a notice of the program in the property tax bills that go out in July. So I'm going to carry them in my pocket. And where I go, I'm going to be handing them out to people I know and say, here, why don't you sign up? So all they have to do is just go online, register, and active. Now, as far as coordinating all that, pretty much once the cards are in circulation, the program is essentially starting there, because we want the people, as soon as they get that card, to go in and be able to use it. We don't want them showing up at your business saying, well, I don't take the card yet, or it hasn't started yet. You don't want to do that. So we'll be letting the merchants know, FinCredit will be, okay, the cards are out in circulation, you start accepting the cards. Is that how it's going to work, Carmine? Pretty much as far as the timing?
Yes, pretty much we're going to have to establish a starting date. So the starting date is, let's say, 1st or August 1st. That's when we set up all the merchants up, and then we can start distributing cards however you want to distribute them, whether it's in a mailing or one by one or just distributing it out. And that's, everybody's going to be live at that point. But we're definitely going to tell merchants this is the date where the goes live and to accept it.
Yeah, some towns have done a mailing, but I'm not really sure if that's for our town. That's the best way to do it. It is another expense for the sponsor. They go out, and are people even going to open the envelope? Are they going to do anything with it? What's this? And maybe not register it. I think first thing that we'd like to do is people that are really interested in using the card, make sure that the card gets into their hands first. And then we have word of mouth, and, you know, there's been some newspaper coverage. There was an article about it in the Burnsville News. There was an article in Tap into Bedminster on it. So it's just a matter of people getting to know it, and then once somebody uses it, they're going to tell their friends and neighbors about it. I'm very optimistic about the success of the program. And maybe, Carmine, you can give a little indication, like Hillsborough, I think in Bridgewater, this will be the first year that they're going to be giving the reward, and they anticipate that they're going to be giving back.
Well, Hillsborough is our second year. Second year in Hillsborough, I think they are giving back about $50,000 in tax credits. Now, of course, it's a larger town. That about, I want to say, $700,000 in swipes, in sales. Bridgewater is starting a little bit slower. I don't remember their numbers, but we did not the full year with Bridgewater yet, and I think they like $10, $7,000. I don't remember, but we just started in Bridgewater. So.
Jersey League of Municipalities magazine, and there's you want to, after the program, feel free to look at it. And here's the article on, it looks like Glassboro, and they're saying here, and I'm trying to find this again, that where was it? There's a liquor store in Glassboro. Experienced the heaviest volume of any of the stores. It's a liquor store, I guess that makes sense, right? 114,000 in total sales during the card, and 2,350 transactions on the card. So that's pretty robust. And then They also talk about a small gift shop in town, and they had almost 2,000 in 9 months in addition in sales that were tracked directly to the card. Now, some people can say, well, these are my loyal customers anyway. They're going to come in the store. Now I'm going to be giving them a rebate. Well, it's a way of saying thank you to your customer, too. You know, really going to appreciate it. If you had loyalty before, you're really going to engender some loyalty with that. And the idea is for new customers, people that maybe never walked into your store. And what happened, you're going to get the publicity. It's going to be online and in different places about that you are a participant. You're going to get a window sign that you can put right into your front window that you're a proud participant in the program. So a lot of value added to it, you know, on top of the rebate itself to the the property tax owner or to the participant in the program, but there's a lot of free marketing.
I want to say something about that because I get that a lot, Bernie. Come to us and say, oh, they're my customers anyway. Two things. Number one, there's not such a thing as being my customer, because if a similar business opens up across the street from you and they give 10% less, you can rest assured that customer is going to go, especially the one that tell you they're your customers and they come to you and they're very loyal, they're going to go across the street, believe me. I've seen it over and over again. There's not such a thing as, oh, it's my customer. But they love to say that. But even if they are their customers, he has to bring them back an extra couple of times. Every Friday night and Saturday night, I mean, we go out to dinner a lot in my town, my wife and I, and we used to go, you know, the area, Freehold and Red Bank, we used to go there a lot. On a Friday night, we say, okay, what are we doing? Let's do Shop Marlboro. And back to the same places, which we have patronized in the past, but now we go a couple extra times a month. That additional money that they see, maybe they don't see it because they know our face, but it's there. It's absolutely. And many times you can even prove to merchants that tell us that, because we can do a run on in which they can do themselves. They can go in the back end and check exactly how many times people are swiped. We see people going there only once or twice a year. So these are not your customers. You have to work on them to let them come back in. Send them an email. Say, hey, I miss you. How come you only came a couple of times last year? They're not their customers. People, merchants have this thing that they remember the same faces, but the faces they only see once in a while, they don't remember. That's the thing. They got to be a little bit more scientific and more technical when they do the due diligence. And we found with small businesses that they still need to do a lot of work because they have to be out there. That's all.
Yeah, I'll echo what he says, and then we can go offline on this. But I'm in a business that's highly regulated, and I can't offer any discounts or rebates. But I can tell you this: I have a lot of loyal clients, but I tell you, they're only as good as my last transaction with them. And if they may like me personally and they may like my service, but if I don't deliver it every single time, they're not going to be my customers and my clients anymore. And whether it's a slice of pizza or getting your nails done or a haircut or a major purchase for a home improvement, you want them to come back, you want them to give their name out, and that's just good business sense. So I want to thank those people that came tonight. I want to thank everybody that might be watching this video at a later date. Call here over at Town Hall or call me. Contact Glenn for more information, and thank you very much, everyone.
Carmine, I assume it's not one card per family, like anybody in the family can have a card.
They can have multiple cards.